How's it going, Blues fans? My name is Nico Pauly, the creator of the Blue blog here on YouTube and on Instagram as well. And I am here with yet another loss for the St. Louis Blues. They get shut out tonight 4-0 against the New York Rangers. Though, you know what the score says? This team laid a pooper. It was actually a lot closer than you think. Start of the period, I felt like the Blues kind of got off to a good start. Not like a dominating start, but a start to where I could see them playing with energy. You could see that the trade deadline is off their shoulders. You could tell that before the trade deadline they were unaware of what's going on. You have Kapanen, Scandella, Buchnevich was in the conversation, Scott Prunovich, Toropchenko. You have all these players who have expiring contracts. And you never know, they could get moved, though I don't think Scotty P or Toropchenko would. But then again, with this team and the direction it's going, it really felt like the Blues were going to sell. And it seemed like Doug Armstrong actually didn't get any offers thrown his way, or any offers he would like. We knew Buchnevich was out there, but you know what? I'm happy that Doug Armstrong stood strong. It was really a buyer's market this trade deadline. Everyone was going for really, really cheap. I'm surprised Jake Gensel could potentially not even get a first-round pick out of that, right? So, really weird, but it is what it is. So, like I said at the start of this first period, really strong. The Blues would go on the penalty kill, and I believe at this point, right, Trocheck would score on the power play in the first probably about 6 minutes. It was just kind of a tip, and it kind of bounces in past Benner. It was a weird bounce, but Benner gets beat. Ranger up 1-0, and that pretty much just secures a loss right there. You already know when the Blues are trailing, it stinks. But I will give them credit. After this goal, they really still played with energy. The first line looked really good. They were moving the puck. They had a chance. Robert Thomas got robbed by Igor, but I also don't think Rob Tom got all of it on that one. The second line was doing A-okay. The third one was all right. Kapanen, during the first half, played with a little bit of skill, and the fourth line established a really strong forecheck. Late in the period, though, really late with about 23 seconds to go, the St. Louis Blues would kind of give up a breakaway to Jimmy Vesey on the left side. He would rifle a wrister past Jordan Bennington. It would go right under his arm. It would bounce off Bender's arm and go in the back of the net and make this a 2-0 game. And we are heading into the second, down 2-0. So Bennington, I'm not going to blame the two on him because he faced a breakaway and a tip shot in front. The breakaway one I think he could have had. The tipped one was kind of a weird bounce. As a goalie, it's tough to get those, and there's always stuff you could do. For the breakaway, it was a really bad line change, and it wasn't even a line. I think it was just maybe it was Letty getting off and Falk coming on, and Parayko losing that puck on the offensive blue line. So lots of mistakes resulting in goals. Classic Blues hockey. The second period to come around, and there wasn't a goal this period, but the St. Louis Blues really tried. They had a couple good chances. They were moving the puck really well. They couldn't find it in the back of the net. Igor Shesterkin was making a pretty handful of good saves out there. I don't think it was anything too insanely dangerous, but the Blues, stayed in it, and I was actually really surprised that they were still skating with energy. The third period would come around, and they would go on the power play, but that power play would get automatically killed off because they would take a penalty. And as the Rangers go to the power play, Chris Kreider would score. It was a missed shot from Panarin from the point that hit off the boards, and Kreider was there. They kind of pick it up on the side as Bennington was down low and sliding over. Tough play, and the Rangers are really good at this. If you ever notice and watch any of their games, they're in the offensive zone. It feels like lots of east-west passes, and they're really shooting for sticks 90% of the time. And there's always someone in front. Bennington was fighting hella screens today. The Blues could not clear the front of the net. There was so many points where that fourth line for the Rangers, where Matt Rempe was out there and another guy maybe was out there. And it was just maybe like 5 guys total, including Blues players, in front of the crease. And Bennington was probably sitting there like, what the shit, dude? What is going on? But honestly, after that third period goal from Chris Kreider, that was his 32nd of the year, by the way, on the power play, it just felt like a really depleted Blues team. Same thing would happen a little bit later. The Blues go on the power play, take a penalty for some, I forget what it was. get a penalty, and then the Rangers would eventually go to the power play, and Capo Caco, kind of same thing in front of the net. We'll make this 4-0 game. The rest of the period is kind of just sloppy, really boring. Just I think the Rangers said we got this in the bag, and the Blues said we suck. I think they gave up this game, rightfully so. So obviously the Blues, discipline-wise, weren't that great, and face-off-wise were beat 25-23. Though Robert Thomas had a great day in the face-off circle. Shots in this one were 39-26, but the St. Louis Blues that first period outshot them 14-11, and then the second period he got out of hand with 12-6 for the Rangers. Then extremely out of hand in the third when they completely gave up with 16-6 for the New York Rangers. Some of those second period shots for the Rangers too were also on the power play as well. The Rangers, they were clicking, I felt like, on the power play. Guys in front moving the puck, lots of one-timers from Zbad or Panarin or whoever. What else can I go over about the game? There's got to be more stats. Yeah, Blues with 12 penalty minutes compared to the Rangers 4. Blues out-hit them 25-14. That mainly is because we didn't have the puck that much. But the forecheck I felt like was really good. 16 blocked shots for the Blues compared to the Rangers 11. And our power play went 0 for 2 as the Rangers went 3 for 6 tonight. I think if anybody could agree with me, it's tank season for the St. Louis Blues. You know what? STL Blues Views kind of pointed out. I also took a peek as well. The Blues are 3 points away from dropping to top 8 pick in the draft. The Blues really need to lose, and luckily their schedule is so helping them out too. Let me go over their schedule really quick for the next few games. So Monday they're going to be playing Boston. Wednesday they're going to playing the Los Angeles Kings. Saturday they'll play Minnesota. We need a loss there. Sunday we're playing Anaheim. It's kind of tough. But Tuesday we play Colorado. What else can I go over? Then we play Ottawa, Minnesota again, Vegas. Thank you, Calgary. Another big loss. San Jose. I mean, they beat us last time. And we really do play a handful of good teams. So we got Carolina, Seattle, Dallas, Edmonton, Nashville. We play Anaheim again. We play Chicago and San Jose again in April. So, you know what? Tough. Honestly, mostly tough schedule of St. Louis Blues, and they could easily drop. The standings right now is kind of looking like, if I go to the league, St. Louis Blues are 21st. They are officially behind Calgary and Seattle. Tied in points with Minnesota, so they could drop one more spot. The New Jersey Devils has 66 points, and the Buffalo Sabres have 65. Pittsburgh follows with 64 points. Then I don't think they're dropping past Montreal at 25th overall, or Montreal's at 26 at 58 points. So, you know what? You got Crosby, who's a competitor. The Buffalo Sabres added a young defenseman who could kind of bolster the lineup. The New Jersey Devils are a great team. They just kind of haven't been on the mark and partially injured. Minnesota, also a solid team. Also off the mark with that one, too. And they could also make a run for it because it's Marc-Andre Fleury's last season, so might as well. So the Blues maybe could be in a good spot, but we'll see how the team responds on Monday, against Boston Bruins. And on my Instagram, I did throw out there a few people to, ask me a question following this game. Not a lot of people, only 3 guys, but just really quickly, let's go over it. So my boy NMac_15, you know what, he DMs me. He likes pretty much everything, and I think he's commented on a few YouTube posts. Guy's a beauty. Shout out to my boy NMac. He said, time to tank, call up Dean, and split time between goalies more. Really embrace it. I really, really, really would love to have Hofer start a few more games. I think this team should tank, and Hofer should get more time in the NHL. And, face maybe a Colorado, face maybe a Vegas too. Kind of get those tougher teams in there and get them to learn. That's completely okay. But also start Binnington too, because, he's worked hard and he's a competitor. We also pay him a shit ton of money. With the Dean call-up, I'm not sure what they're going to do with Bolduc. Because he's got... he's in the NHL, and I don't know how long they're gonna leave him up. Don't get me wrong, Bolduc has been great. I think he's got a sick release, and he plays with so much speed. A little weak, but he's only 20, 21 years old, so it's not the end of the world if he gets bodied off pucks. I mean, he'll get there with age. But Zach Dean has been lighting it up in the AHL, and I think he wants a turn too. So maybe shortly we will see a Bolduc called down back to the AHL, and we could see Zach Dean get called up in his placement. But I don't know. I'm not Doug Armstrong or Drew Bannister, so I don't make the calls. Braylon Trice season said defense has been significantly worse since Falk came back. Why is Kessel not back? Because we're paying Falk $6.5 million a year. That's the only reason. I bet you somewhere in management said, we're paying this guy $6.5 million. We're not just going to sit him. I mean, that's $6.5 million not being used. They'd rather have him, play and play like poop rather than just, pay him to do nothing. It's just like being a boss at maybe like a fast food industry and seeing your workers do absolutely nothing all shift long, and they're just lazy, and they hang out and they talk to everybody and they're on their phones. What are you paying them for, right? You don't want that money wasted. That money could be spent elsewhere. Kessel, I do think, is much better than Falk and also younger. Kessel really does have potential to be that number 4 guy, and eventually, hopefully, we see it. Last one is from Anna DM. When will it be genuine cup contenders again? I don't have a question. I mean, I don't have an answer to that. I don't know. Hopefully soon. It depends what picks we get and how prospects develop, but that's all I got. Shout out to Akira Toriyama. I got my Goku figure in the back. He's all lit up, looking nice and cute. He sadly passed away March 1st, and we got the news a few days ago. Big influence, beauty too. There's my dog. Girlfriend got home, and that's good for me to call it. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Let me know what you guys think of the game and what the Blues should do in the future. Everybody have a good night.